Hi everyone, this is Jeff, of course, from the Icebox Radio Theater, wishing you all a Merry Christmas on this 25th of December. Of course, we always take this particular week off here at the Icebox Radio Theater. Typically, we do new episodes on the 15th and the last day of every month, but, December's just a little bit different, and the 31st of December is also a very, very busy day. So in place of the regular Radio Icebox episode, it's always nice that we offer up something a little different and something for right here on December the 25th. This particular show this week is actually produced by Porchlight Family Media. They're a group in Phoenix, Arizona, from a script, I should say, written by yours truly back in about 2013. It's called Babe of the Worlds, and I originally wrote it for the Christmas program at my church that year. And basically it's the story of Jesus' birth in Bethlehem as told in the style of War of the Worlds with live sound effects and everything else. We did it just as a kids program here in the Falls, but this production in Phoenix is really quite good, and I'm very proud to be associated with it. So it's just kind of a way of saying Merry Christmas to all of you from all of us here, with the help of J.D. Sutter and Roy Allison and Andrew Jones and all the great folks there in Phoenix who put together a really good production of Babe of the Worlds, one of the more unusual versions of the Christmas story you're ever likely to hear. So stay tuned now for Andrew Jones, Jordyn Allison, who plays Carla Phillips, the crack reporter, as well as Professor Pearson, played by Lael Wilkins. It's Babe of the Worlds from Porchlight Family Media, our special Christmas gift to you. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Hello, I'm Andrew Jones. It's Christmas time again, which means it's time to hear the Christmas story. For centuries, people have attempted to add their 2 cents to this story, to make it fresh and different. There's been talking animals and animation, little drummer boys and long-eared donkeys. None of them are particularly scriptural, but all of them help to remind us that this story belongs to all of us, the entire world. Tonight, we'll take you back to a Bethlehem that never was, and hear the story in the style of an old-time radio broadcast. There's nothing factual about our story today, yet it's filled with truth. To begin, it is early in the morning in Bethlehem. A busy day is ahead. Thousands of people are crowded into the city for the Roman census. And as the sun rises over the hills where shepherds watch their flocks, people get out of bed, yawn, stretch, and, well, at least in our Bethlehem, turn on their radios. And now, Porchlight Family Media presents Babe of the Worlds by Jeffrey Adams.
Around God's billion in the territory on West.
Billy Goodwin from the group
Presents the Great Gildersleeve.
Now, Audio Theater Central.
It's 6 o'clock, and station KBHM, the voice of Bethlehem, now begins its broadcast day. Today is December 25th. The weather should be clear but cold with a chance for snow later on tonight. And now here's Carla Phillips with your first look at the morning's news. Carla?
Good morning. Our top story this morning, overcrowding throughout the city. As expected, the Roman census has put a strain on available rooms for rent in the greater Bethlehem area. Most inns report being completely full. Visitors continuing to stream into the city. The mood of the crowd is good, but worried. Many people worry what will happen to them if they can't find shelter by tonight. In a related story, officials from towns throughout the region, including Bethlehem, met with the Roman governor of Judea yesterday. They again requested that families be allowed to remain in their hometowns for the census, but the governor refused. As of now, all men and their families must return to the towns of their birth to be enrolled. And now, back to our main studio.
Thank you, Carla. You're listening to KBHM Bethlehem. Now music in the morning, live from the ballroom at the Hotel Bethlehem. Cat Jahnke brings us the eternal favorite, O Come Emmanuel.
O come Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, thou dayspring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadow put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, desire of nations, bind all peoples in one heart and mind. Bid envy, strife, and quarrel cease. Fill the whole world with heaven's peace. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
That was Cat Jahnke with O Come Emmanuel. Welcome to the program of music this morning. Shifting gears now, it's the magical fingers of Jennifer Joy on the piano, live from Hotel Bethlehem. We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. We take you now to Carla Phillips in the streets of the city. Carla?
I'm in downtown Bethlehem near the village square, and the scene is simply incredible. It appears the overcrowding is getting worse. I'll try and set the scene for you. Down the main street, people are walking shoulder to shoulder. Many have brought cows and oxen with them. And everyone seems to be carrying heavy bags, full of food and clothing for several days. I'm going to try and talk to one of the travelers now. Sir, could I speak to you a moment?
What?
Carla Phillips, KBHM News. Could I speak to you a moment?
I guess.
What's your name, sir?
I am Joseph, and this is my wife, Mary.
Hello. Hello to you both. I see, ma'am, you're expecting.
Yes, any day now.
I assume you're in town for the census?
Yes, that's right.
Have you traveled far?
Nazareth. We've come from Nazareth.
Tell me, have you found place to stay?
Well, it has been difficult.
We were on the road until yesterday. When we got here, they said there were no room at any of the inns.
There's a rumor that one of the inns at the edge of town is letting people stay in the barn with the animals. We're headed there now to see if it's true.
Well, I won't keep you, and good luck.
Thank you.
So, that's the story here on Main Street. The overcrowding continues. Some people forced to sleep in barns and stables to keep out of the weather. And now, back to our studio.
Carla Phillips in the field. Carla will keep track of the story as it develops. And now, it's back to Hotel Bethlehem and our program of music with Jennifer Joy on the piano. We interrupt our regular programming to bring you this special news bulletin. Witness reports seeing a strange light in the sky over Bethlehem. The governor has called a press conference for later on today, perhaps to address this strange and unusual event. In the meantime, we go now to Carla Phillips, who is in the field with one of the smartest people in our town, Professor Pearson.
I'm here with... Are we on? Okay, this is Carla Phillips on the rooftops above downtown, and I'm here with Professor Pearson, a noted elder who specializes in... What is it called again, Professor?
Astronomy. The study of the stars and planets is called astronomy.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, before we ask Professor Pearson about what's going on, I will try and describe for you the sight in front of us. There is a star which has appeared in the sky, right above the town. Is that correct, Professor?
What?
The big star there. It does appear to be right over Bethlehem.
Well, stars are very, very far away. That's why they're so small in the night sky. It's difficult to say how far away any star actually is.
Then how can you explain the appearance of that big star? Why it looks to be right above town?
I can't explain it.
Professor Pearson, is that a star or a planet or something else?
I couldn't even begin to guess at this point. There's no record of anything like this ever happening before.
Is there cause for alarm, Professor?
No, I don't think so. I think this star is extremely important, but I can't exactly say why.
Thank you, Professor Pearson. This is Carla Phillips, returning you now to our studio.
You're listening to KBHM Bethlehem. A brief look at the headlines now. Roman census leads to overcrowding in Bethlehem and surrounding area, and a large light has appeared in the sky above town. We will watch both of these stories as they develop. Music now as we return to Hotel Bethlehem and pianist Jennifer Joy. We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. We take you now to the edge of town and reporter Carla Phillips. Carla?
This is Carla Phillips at the town's south gate, just below the hills where shepherds keep their flocks. And we have a tremendous disturbance here. It looks like every shepherd in the area is attempting to come into town. And as you can clearly hear, they've brought many of their sheep with them. The officials, the Roman guards, are trying to get them to return to the hills. I'm going to try and get close enough to talk to one of them. Sir, Centurion.
Move along. Nothing to see here.
Carla Phillips, KBHM News. Can I speak to you a moment?
Oh, the press? Everything is under control. And yes, everything is under control.
What's happening? Why are these shepherds trying to get into town?
They're crazy, that's all. Pay no attention.
I know what I saw.
Now we heard enough from you. Get these sheep out of here. The town's too crowded already.
But I know what I saw. You can't turn us out. We have to go find him.
Sir, what is it you saw?
Didn't just see them, we heard them. Thousands of them.
Did you see the light in the sky that appears to be over town?
I saw that, sure, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all them angels singing.
Now that's enough of that. There were no angels. You just saw the light and got confused. These shepherds, they're always confused.
Sir, could you describe what you saw?
Well, me and the boys were up in the hills just settling down the flocks for the evening, when suddenly it was like a sky lit up. I thought it was noon. Then I realized there were all these people dressed in white flying overhead. They began to sing. And well, we all thought we were goners. But then one of them talked to us, just like I'm talking to you. He said we had to come into town.
Why did you have to come into town?
It's the Messiah. He's come at last. He's here tonight.
All right, that's enough of that. You head back into the hills now.
Sir, some people believe the Messiah is supposed to be a great warrior. Did the angel say he was in town for the census?
No, you don't understand. He's a baby. He was born here this very night.
You hear that? The Messiah? A baby? All these shepherds are crazy.
I'm not crazy. I know what I saw.
Where is this baby?
I don't know. He just said in town. We'll have to go look for him.
All right, that's enough. Move along now. Move along.
An incredible development, ladies and gentlemen. Shepherds, watching their flocks at night, claim to see a group of angels, a heavenly host, if you will, come to them and tell them the Messiah has come at last. Only far from being the warrior we all expected, he's a little baby. Strange days indeed in Bethlehem. We now return you to our studio.
This is KBHM Bethlehem. We take you now to a special news bulletin at the Governor's Castle.
Good evening. I have a brief statement. As Governor of Judea, I want to thank all the people for their patience. The census is a difficult time. It will all be over soon.
Governor, what about...
No questions at this time. I want to assure all the people that they are perfectly safe under Roman rule. I have talked to many very wise men about the light which appeared earlier today above Bethlehem. They assure me that it is completely harmless, perhaps weather-related, but all the people in town for the census should remain calm, and there is no cause for alarm at this time.
Governor, what about the reports that the Messiah may have come to Bethlehem? Does the light in the sky have something to do with that?
I have no comment on that.
Governor, who are these wise men you were talking to?
Yeah, where were they from?
I have no comment on that.
Governor, what about the report of a heavenly host appearing to some shepherds outside of town?
Well, you can't expect to take the word of a bunch of shepherds that claim to have seen a choir of angels singing to them. These poor men have clearly been out in the hills too long.
What about the rumor the Messiah is here?
Does the light mark the location of the Messiah?
Are they connected?
There is no Jewish Messiah. He's just a figure out of a book.
But the shepherds claim he was born in town tonight.
And that's another thing. This Messiah is supposed to be a great warrior, not a baby. I have no doubt a baby was born in Bethlehem tonight. Babies are born every day in Bethlehem. But all this foolish talk about angels and saviors and lights in the sky is just going to upset people. For this reason, I am declaring martial law in Bethlehem until further notice.
Sir, if there's no threat, why are you declaring martial law?
No further questions at this time. This press conference is over.
Governor, just one more question. Governor, what do you think about this? Governor.
You have just heard the Governor of Judea's press conference about all the strange events in Bethlehem today. The governor has declared martial law, so we here at KBHM will remain on the air for as long as this crisis goes on. Again, our top stories: strange light in the skies above Bethlehem. Local shepherds report seeing angels in the sky, and overcrowding continues to be a problem downtown. While we have a brief moment here, let us return to Hotel Bethlehem and a musical interlude. This is KBHM Bethlehem. That was Jennifer Joy on the piano, live from Hotel Bethlehem's ballroom downtown. We have a new development in the story of the day, and we take you now to Carla Phillips in the field.
Carla Phillips, at the outskirts of Bethlehem, where I believe something very important has happened. The light in the sky, witnessed by so many people these past few hours, appears to have settled over a particular stable outside of an inn. More impressive than that is the crowd that has formed. I see a few of the shepherds who caused a disturbance at the gate of the city. Quiet now. Most of them are standing at the door, gazing in. I've never seen a crowd this large be this quiet. No one looks likely to cause a disturbance now. I'm going to try and get closer now. Excuse me, please. Closer now to the entrance to try and talk to some of the people here. Sir, could I speak to you a moment?
Shh, quiet. I can't hear.
What is it you're trying to hear, sir?
The baby. He's not sleeping or crying or anything. He's just lying there in his mother's arms, looking at everything.
There's a baby inside the stable?
It's him, Emmanuel, God with us.
Sir, do you believe this baby is the Messiah?
You'll have to go see for yourself.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is simply terrific. I'm going to try and move into the stable. It's very crowded. Excuse me, please. There are still animals in the stalls, but many people are inside as well. Everyone seems to be looking toward the back of the stable. I see... Yes, I can see now. There are people against the back wall. A man and a woman. And yes, she has a baby. Oh my, I think I can get just close enough. Yes, I can see them now. Ladies and gentlemen, I know every baby is special, but this one... I've worked in radio for years, but I've never been speechless before. You can't describe it in words. Ma'am, could I have a moment?
Yes.
I'm so sorry to disturb you. Carla Phillips, KBHM News.
I remember. You interviewed us earlier today.
That's right. Yes. You did find a place to stay then?
It's humble, but it's out of the wind and it's warm.
So your baby was born right here in this barn?
Yes, we've called him Jesus.
That's an unusual name. Is it his father's?
Something like that.
Ma'am, there have been many disturbances in town this evening. People are even claiming that the Messiah is to be born here, in Bethlehem, tonight. Do you have any comment on that?
I don't think so. I'm just taking it all in right now.
Well, I won't disturb you anymore. Thank you for your time. That was the mother of a new baby, born right here in a stable of all things due to the massive overcrowding we're experiencing in town. It's an incredible story. I don't even know how to begin telling it, but none of it makes sense over the radio. You have to see this baby to understand. You have to know him personally. This is Carla Phillips, returning you now to our studio.
Well, that's it. That's the story you've heard 100 times, told in a way you've never heard before. But sometimes when you hear something old in a new way, it's as if you hear it for the very first time. And I'd invite everyone who's used to the story to remember the final lines from our intrepid reporter, Carla Phillips. She was trying to describe the baby in the manger, but couldn't. You just have to know him personally, she said. This audio drama was written by Jeffrey Adams. Michael Johnson played the part of the KBHM announcer. Carla Phillips was portrayed by Jordyn Allison. Our program also featured Kevin Duncan as Joseph, Victoria Muth as Mary, Lael Wilkins as Professor Pearson, Ronald Amaya as the Centurion, Kyle Burbank as the Shepherd, and Tim Muth as the Governor. Daniel Ramirez and Jennifer Caldwell were our reporters. Sound design was by Roy Allison. Live sound effects were realized by Roy Allison and Andrew Jones. Live piano music was performed by Jennifer Muth. O Come Emmanuel is Cat Jahnke from the album O Night Divine. This program was produced and directed by J.D. Sutter and was performed for a live audience in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm Andrew Jones. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Can you get one more applause for these wonderful actors? They did a fantastic job. And for our amazing sound effects crew. Thank you very much.
Porchlight Family Media.
Your source for family-centered content.
PorchlightFamilyMedia.com.